Good evening and welcome to Clerk of Court Live. My name is Wasil Fashina. I am the Chief of Staff for the Honorable Dorothy Brown, the Clerk of the Circuit Court of Cook County, and I will be your host this evening. You may view the Clerk of Court Live on CAN TV, Channel 21, or on http://cantv.org/hotline. This is a live call-in show, and we welcome questions and comments from our audience. The number to call is 312-738-1060. So feel free to call in, and we'll be looking forward to your questions. Today, I'm proud to introduce a special guest, Mr. Michael Moore, the Executive Clerk of Court Operations and Administration for the Clerk of the Circuit Court of Cook County. Welcome, Mr. Moore.
Thank you, Wasu. Good afternoon.
Thank you. And I have several questions for you, but before we start, can you give me your background, what you do for the clerk's office, and how long you've been with the clerk's office?
Sure, thank you. As you mentioned, I'm the executive clerk for court operations and administration, and so what that means is being responsible for the operations in all three areas of law: civil, traffic, and criminal court operations. I've been with the office for 25 years now. I have worked as an assistant chief deputy in civil, and then chief deputy clerk in civil division and domestic relations division. Also had a short time as the chief deputy clerk in one of our suburban districts out in Skokie. Then some years ago, I became the associate clerk for the Family Law Bureau. And then 4 years ago, I became the executive clerk for court operations.
Oh, sounds very impressive. What is the role of the clerk's office in the judicial system?
Well, it's a very important role. We by statute, we are the official record keeper. So we're the custodian of the official court record, which is very important as far as people coming in and getting records that we certify for them that they need in different aspects of their life. And part of our duties, and our main duty, is that all court hearings are going to be coming through the clerk's office. We staff every courtroom and each of those areas of laws that I mentioned, traffic, criminal, and civil areas of law. We will have a court clerk in each of those courtrooms. Not only that, all of the filings that come in will be made into our office to become part of the official record. So when people come in and file new cases, they will come into our offices and file the requisite forms that become part of the record. They'll pay the whatever fee might be associated with that. We will data enter the information into the court record. We will scan that document. So our job is key to the execution of justice in the court system in Cook County.
Thank you very much. And regarding the clerk's office, can you tell us the different locations where people can get information?
Yes, not only information, but where cases might be heard, and that is we're spread throughout Cook County. The main civil court is downtown at the Daly Center, 50 West Washington. And there's also a criminal department and traffic courts there as well as those civil areas. But we are spread across the suburban Cook County as well. We have 5 suburban locations. We have 5 criminal branch courts spread out through the city. And we have a court over on Ogden and near Roosevelt, the Juvenile Justice Court. And we also have a domestic violence court at 555 West Harrison. So there's a number of court locations hearing different types of cases.
Thank you. I know you mentioned the role of the clerk's office in the judicial system. Can you tell us the specific functions of the court operations area?
Court operations, sure. So court operations, as I mentioned, a critical function that we perform is that we are mandated to be in every courtroom to assist the judiciary. So every judge will have a court clerk assisting them as the cases are heard by that judge, and then recording what happens in court to make it part of the official court record. But prior to that matter getting to court, the clerk saw all of the cases, whether it be civil, a traffic ticket, or a criminal complaint filed against somebody, will be filed with our office. So we have to accept that filing, and we process it, we assign it a case number, and make it part of the official court record. And then every proceeding, every filing, every document filed on that case will be accepted and processed by us and kept as the official court record.
That sounds to be a lot of work. And can you tell us about any programs or services that are upcoming in the clerk's office?
Sure. And I should mention that besides the functions that we perform, there are other services that we provide to the citizens of Cook County. And what some people don't understand or don't know about is that even applying for a passport, that we have an office in the Daily Center and our probate division floor on the 12th floor in the Daily Center, where somebody can come and apply for a passport. We also have a hidden gem, really, of an archives department where people come often, not only to look up old records of cases that we keep, famous cases and whatnot, but also when they're doing a genealogical family tree, that they come in and they can look at some immigration and citizenship papers that have been filed in the court system in our archives area. In addition to that, on our website, which I have to say is a very good source of information, the clerk's website is www.cookcountyclerkofcourt.org. And I would recommend everybody to go onto that website, and you can do things such as look up cases by the case number or by a person's name. You can look up your own case and see the docket of the case and what's happening on the case. There's information on all of the different divisions that I had just mentioned as far as the different court locations, phone numbers and contact people's names to contact for information. On our website, we have almost all of the forms that you need for the various types of filings that you might be making into court. They are fillable on the website. So we also have information and links to legal assistance. We have links to elder law assistance, people looking for help there. But very importantly, and I want to get this word out too, also on our website, we have different monies available to people that might be owed money. For instance, unclaimed child support payments that have come into the court system and have been tried to been delivered to the recipient, and they possibly have moved away, changed their address, and the records haven't been updated. And if they are owed this money, they can come onto our website and get some information to see if there is money being held for unclaimed child support. Likewise, there's a matter of mortgage surplus monies that are available possibly if you were involved in a foreclosure. A mortgage surplus exists where the property gets sold and they actually receive more money than what the property is worth, and that extra money is held in a bank account for people who were foreclosed on, and those people may be entitled to that money, to that mortgage surplus, that when the bank sold the property and there was extra money beyond what was owed, it's held in that bank account. And so our website is full of information like that. I would reiterate again that people, if you think that you were involved in a mortgage foreclosure situation and that possibly the property was sold for more than you owed, please come onto our website and take a look. Or child support. If you think that over the years that you should have been receiving some child support and you believe that the non-custodial person did make the payments, you should come onto our website also and begin the search for the unclaimed child support.
Thank you, Mike. Can you give the child support address, the website address one more time before we move to the next question?
Sure. That website address again is www.cookcountyclerkofcourt.org. And I think if you do any type of Google search and put in Clerk of the Circuit Court of Cook County or some variation of that, it should bring up a link for you to get to that information.
Thank you. I know you have, your office have a amnesty program going on right now. Can you speak to it for a minute?
Pretty exciting. We've done this every year for the last couple of years, and it's a amnesty program is going on this week. So we do have one more day of it tomorrow. And you see the flyer that is put up there that you can, by paying your past due fines or fees in traffic matters, you can avoid the collection fee. The collection fee will be waived if you come into one of our locations. As you see on the flyer there, you can come into one of our court locations Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30, or pay by phone and call the office.
We have a caller on the line. Caller, can you go ahead and ask your question, please?
Yes, I'm in the middle of a divorce and I wasn't quite sure where to file my case. I live in Norwich and can I come to the Daily Center to do that?
Yes. You can actually, the Daily Center would be fine. You'd come into the Daily Center and file on the 8th floor. The Domestic Relations Division is located on the 8th floor in the Daily Center, again, 50 West Washington. And there will be clerks there to assist you with what is required as far as the forms and whatnot. And you would go ahead and file in 802 of the Daily Center.
Since she lives in Norwich, can she go to one of your satellite offices?
They would be able to accept that filing. I think Norwich would be Skokie, the Skokie Courthouse. And the information as far as the exact locations, the addresses and whatnot, again, would be available on our website, as well as phone numbers to call ahead of time to make sure that you're going to the right location. So please give us a call.
Thank you, caller. Thank you for your question. We have another caller on the line. Go ahead.
Yes, I have a question about a law case I had from 1983. Will I be able to get a copy of my filing from back then? And if so, how do I get it?
Yeah, well, there's different retention rules as far as the paper record on matters. We will probably have the electronic record, and we would see if we still have that file. Certain files, depending on the case type, are destroyed after a certain number of years. Law cases, I believe, are destroyed after 20 years. So the actual paper file may be destroyed. There would probably be an electronic record. What we have instituted in the clerk's office, though, is scanning of images, of document images. We started this back in 2009, and now all filings in civil matters and criminal, all of the documents filed on all of those cases have been scanned starting in 2009 and forward. And so everything now, if it was a case, for instance, if your case was actually later, not in 1983, but I'll get back to that point, everything is available via an scanned image. What we also started to do is scan older files. So we do scan older files. There's possibility, depending if somebody had made that request for that file some years ago, that we would have backscanned it. So we not only scan everything now that comes in, and have been doing that, by the way, since 2009 on certain case types, and now all civil case types, all criminal cases, every document is scanned, and there is an image available on every document.
Thank you, Mike. I believe we have another caller on the line.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead with your question, please.
Yes. Mr. Moore, you mentioned that you have the amnesty program,
Yes.
and I was concerned about this. Unfortunately, I have to say that not only do I have moving violations, but I also have tickets from the red light camera and also parking tickets. Now, would this include all of my tickets, or how does that work?
Yeah, so any tickets that you have past collection owings on, you would be able to get the collection fee waived on those tickets, as long as you say.
Yeah, with the exception of red light camera and parking tickets. Just these are citations, traffic tickets issued by law enforcement agencies, not the red light camera or parking tickets.
Oh, thank you, thank you. So I can get rid of my moving violations, though, and that's good.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I'm glad that I have the current chief of staff with me, who was the former chief financial officer for our office and involved in the amnesty program, to be able to clarify the answer to that question. Thank you, Wasu.
You're welcome.
I also want to make sure, I'm glad that the one call where we were able to talk about imaging, but the clerk's office has made many technological advances, and one of them is, as far as traffic tickets, the payment of traffic tickets online. And so there is, many traffic tickets do qualify for payment online. You can avoid coming to court, and not all, but certain ones are. And it's the e-plea system, and there is information again on our website regarding online payment of traffic tickets. But besides the e-plea program, we have some, in the scanning program, we also have some very exciting technological programs going on. We have had e-filing for a number of years.
Yes.
And we have had e-filing in our civil areas permissively for a number of years. And we are moving towards a statewide mandatory e-filing of cases, civil cases, on July 1.
Yeah, that's one of the questions I was going to ask you. But before we get to that e-filing question, I have a caller on the line that has been waiting patiently. Caller, please go ahead.
Oh, hello. Hi. Mr. Moore, I have a question for you. I actually electronically filed a document in the civil division. I believe that's what it's called, in the civil division. But I need a hard copy of my file. How would I be able to do that? What should I do to get a hard copy of my file?
Again, you would come down to the 6th floor in the Daily Center, and they will have those files for you. We keep 5 years on site, and we also have a record center off-site for older files, for the actual paper document that has been filed into those cases, and so that the civil division staff would be able to assist you with that. And you could come down, and if you needed the initial paper document, we would be able to find that for you. At 6th floor, the Daily Center, for a civil division case type. But each of the divisions also would be able to do that, regardless whether it was a civil division case, if it was a domestic relations case, a chancery case, a law division case. You can come down to the Daily Center. We have those files, those 5 years of files on site. And if it's older than that, we would order it from our record center. We have a new record center in the last couple of years, opened in Cicero, and it's a great center holding all of our older files.
Yeah, and the Daily Center address is 50 West Washington in Chicago. And I have another caller on the phone. Thank you, ma'am. The previous caller, thank you for your question. I have another caller on the phone, I believe. Okay.
Well,
While we're waiting, Mr. Moore, can you talk a little bit about e-filing since the last
Yes.
question was related to e-filing?
yes, I'd like to talk about e-filing and overall, just generally technology in the clerk's office, which is at a very high level. So e-filing, we've had e-filing in the civil areas for a number of years, and it's permissive. The mandatory e-file will begin on July 1. And mandatory e-file, there is no fee to e-file. So, I should say no fee as far as the transaction. The normal fees of filing a case would apply if that's the case. But you would, on July 1, if it's a civil matter, you would be able to e-file that case from home, from your computer at home, or from your office. And importantly, what we want to let people know, that when mandatory e-filing is here for civil division on July 1, at the Daily Center and at the suburban locations, we will have e-filing centers capability. So people will be able to come into our office and we will have the necessary computers and scanners and printers and access to register to the e-file system. You will be able to do that on site in our offices. So
That is beginning July 1st.
July 1. On July 1, you will be able to e-file on site in any of our locations
Thank you.
for civil cases.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. I believe there's another caller on the line. Okay.
Wasu, could I mention too, I wanted to talk a little bit about technology in the advancement that we have made. Many times people, like some of these callers, are interested in finding out what has happened on their case or what is being scheduled on their case. Again, on our website, you can do a case search and find out look at the docket history of that case. But I also want to let people know that there is a mobile app
That's correct.
that the clerk's office created themselves, a mobile app that you can go on your phone and do case searches by case number or by parties' names to the case. So you have the ability on your phone to look up cases and find information on your cases, as well as I mentioned, going on our website and doing a search by name or by case number and looking up that case and getting information on that case. Now, I'll hold that thought as far as the...
I think I have a caller that's been waiting patiently. Caller, go ahead with your question, please.
Hi, I paid child support in the past, but my children are now past the age of 18. Currently, the state of Illinois is holding my refunds due to court-mandated fees. How can I get this corrected?
Yes, you would contact the Department of Healthcare and Family Services, who are the ones holding those fees, and you would have the court record search to show that your children are of age, and possibly have to file an emancipation petition. But maybe easier than that would be to contact the Illinois Department of Healthcare and Family Services, who are the people who are holding those funds, and explain the situation to them, and they should be able to lift that from you.
Caller, do you have any child support back payments, any arrearages?
No, I don't.
No?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for your question.
Thank you very much.
I have another caller on the line. Okay, Mr. Moore, can you tell us a little bit about your expungement summit coming up?
Sure. Clerk Brown has sponsored this expungement summit for, I believe, 10 years now.
Yes.
And this year, we are going to be having the expungement summit on June 2nd at Kennedy King College, Junior College. Wasu has put up the flyer on that. So Kennedy King College at 6343 South Halsted. Registration is at 8:30 a.m. that morning, and we will not close the doors until 6 p.m. That's a Saturday. It's June 2nd, 2018, And we will have judges available as well as attorneys to assist people, and of course the clerk staff as well. So it will be a one-stop shop to come in and file your expungement petition and be able to have that filed on record and then be able to have that expunged later.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. And we are almost out of time. Thank you, Mr. Moore, and thanks to the audience. And please tune in to Clerk of the Court Live next Thursday at 5 p.m. when our host, Ms. Melissa Ford, and our guest, Ms. Renee Banks, will discuss general information about the 2018 Second Chance Expungement Summit, which is going to take place on Saturday, June 2nd, and how to obtain information such as rap sheets that you need for your expungement, to expunge your records. And have a good evening, and thank you, Mr. Moore. Thank you,
Marcia.
audience.
Good evening.